Welcome, everyone, to Kinesiology 121 Concepts of Wellness. I'm Dr. Devin Beasley, your professor for this course, and this presentation is just to really kind of review the syllabus, and maybe clarify some things that could be confusing, and just emphasize some of the areas of importance that you really need to be aware of throughout the course. Now, as you look through the syllabus, take a look at the top of it. You have all my contact information there, so if you need to reach me or contact me at any time, feel free to do so. Also, for this course, you see the course description, which is basically just to give you an introductory study into what we call the 5 core dimensions of wellness: the spiritual, physical, social, emotional, intellectual, and occupational. There's several other different components of this course. There's a lot of work to get done in just a short period of time. So be sure that you are diligent. Be sure that you are aware of all the course requirements, all the assignments, and the due dates for each one of those. Also in the syllabus, you'll see where we have the Kinesiology Program Student Learning Outcomes, or the KPSLOs. Also in there, we have the course SLOs, which are specific to this particular course. So through this class, we hope to reach all 10 of these learning outcomes. Now, I also included in the syllabus some tips for success. Be sure that you read through these. These are going to be vital in your success. Many people think that an online class is a lot easier than a face-to-face class because it's online, but in actuality, we find that it is a lot more difficult. A lot more time is needed to be spent reviewing assignments, taking notes, listening to podcasts or presentations over again, even contacting the instructor just to make sure that you're clear on everything. So take some time, read through these tips for success, being prepared before class, taking notes, engaging in the course discussions, which are the threaded discussions throughout this class, and I'll talk more about that a little bit throughout this presentation. So what are the assignments required for this class? First of all, the attendance and participation requirement is that you log into Moodle and view any presentations that have been posted, download any documentation that needs to be downloaded, and making sure that you are aware of everything that is listed in the syllabus. So be sure that you take the time and do that. If you do not post anything during the first week of the class, you will be administratively dropped from the course. So be sure that you take care or take heed to when assignments are due. There are several lab assignments for this class, and through these lab assignments, they're going to require you to do a variety of different things. Some you're going to have to test your own fitness levels. Some you're going to have to document everything that you eat and drink and your exercise behavior for a period of days. Some you're just going to have to do some reflection, some evaluation on your own, some investigation of resources. And so a variety of things are going to take place through the lab assignments, and within those lab assignments, many of the course objectives are going to be met or should be met. Don't take those for granted. They are to be done in an academic sense, meaning that some time, some thought, and some preparation should go into completing each one of those lab assignments. So although many of them will say reflections, those reflections should include some evaluative thought and some work on your part in order to do those properly. So be sure that you read through each lab assignment individually, completely, as well as looking at all the different rubrics that are provided for those. There are tests for this course, and the tests for this class will range from true, false, multiple choice, short answer, and all the above. You will have 2 opportunities to complete the test throughout the week. The test will open on Monday mornings and it will close on Sunday evenings. You must attempt the test during this time period. If you wait until the end of the week to attempt the test and you're unable to complete it, you will receive a 0 for that test. There are no second chances, there are no makeup opportunities. Be sure that you take the time and complete the test. There are going to be a number of articles that you have to read, as well as some videos that you're going to view and provide a reflection on those, and I'll have more information on that throughout the course. There are threaded discussions throughout this course as well, and the threaded discussions are designed to mimic in-class communication. Since in an online setting we don't have that face-to-face communication, we don't have that engagement in course discussions that take place naturally in a class setting, I do want you to take that time and mimic that discussion within the threaded discussion post. You'll be presented with a topic, an idea, or subject, something to think about, and then on Tuesday of each week, you will be required to provide your initial post, which is your first general thought in response to any questions presented for the threaded discussions. Then by Thursday, you are expected to read at least 2 other students post, and then provide a discussion type response to those students. And the idea is to begin to articulate and communicate back and forth with one another on different thoughts and ideas. There's a lot of learning that takes place through that discussion, which is why we have those sort of discussion posts in there. But be aware that your initial post is due on Tuesday and your response to your classmates will be due on Thursdays, as opposed to other assignments that are due on Sunday. One of the assignments is your resume and cover letter. We will cover this with occupational and employability skills, that dimension of wellness that covers that. You are going to have to complete either a hypothetical or a realistic resume and cover letter. There will be more information on that as well. There is a debate paper in which you will be presented with a topic as well as a position, pro or con, to take and develop a debate type paper. You won't actually debate this with a student, but you will write a paper as if you were preparing to have a debate. And then another fun assignment is the public service announcement, the PSA, and the script that goes along with that. And within the PSA, you're going to have to actually develop a promotional video or a public service announcement type video, 30 seconds long, that addresses some specific need and has some particular purpose behind it. And just like all the other assignments, I'll have more information on that throughout the course. And then your signature assignment for this course is your wellness research or reflection paper. And here's where it all is going to be tied together. So you're going to have to take some of the information that you've developed in each one of those lab assignments, in addition to developing some research or research-based information, or maybe like an annotated bibliography, and applying that to a practical setting. There are some specific guidelines for that paper. It is a significant paper. It must also be submitted to turnitin.com before the end of the week, or the end of the course. So be sure that you read through those, and I'll kind of remind you of some of these things early on. Now, as you look through the syllabus, you'll see that I have the assignment point values there and the percentage of those assignments that contribute to your overall grade. Take a look at that and be aware of the point values and point systems, and there are also rubrics for those as well. In addition to that, we have the estimated time to complete assignments, and this is just, once again, estimated time. Typically, what it takes the average student to complete each assignment, how much work goes into it, and that work can include reading, researching, discussing it with colleagues or other students, asking questions about it, developing a draft, rewriting those drafts. And so there's a lot that goes into completing some of these assignments, or at least there should be, in order to complete them effectively. So those times, the hours for each one of those assignments, is just preparation as well as time it takes you to complete those. And then I have a little blurb about my student expectations in the course as well. So the directions for submitting these assignments, everything will be done through Moodle. So be sure, once again, you check the rubric, the syllabus, as well as the Moodle site to find out when things are actually due. As you complete your assignments, everything must be completed as a Microsoft Word document, a .doc or a .docx file. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can complete it and save it as a rich text format, but most programs will allow you to save things in a .doc file format. Any other file submissions will not be accepted, and it will be counted as late. And for late assignments, as you see down there, all late submissions will receive a 25% point deduction for each day it is late. Of course, after 4 days, it will not be accepted. There are no excuses, no additional time, no flexibility with this. This is a pretty hard, strict rule to set by. So it just kind of keeps you accountable for completing assignments and getting things done in a timely manner. Some additional expectations. Because this is an online class, it is a 3-unit class, you're still expected to spend anywhere between 10 to 20 or 25 hours per week dedicated to coursework. A lot of people will try to cram that into a Saturday. And so you'll get your information open on Monday, and of course you're doing things, whether you're working or enjoying some time off or whatever it is. Most people will procrastinate and put things off until the weekend. Don't do that. You'll find yourself stressed, and you'll find that the quality of work that you submit will be sacrificed. So try to spend some time during the week to work on some of these assignments. You're also expected to check your FPU provided email regularly, as well as the Moodle site regularly, as I will post some announcements and information through these means. And if you're only looking at your personal email, not your FPU provided email, you may miss something, but you're still being held responsible and accountable for any information that is sent through Moodle or through the FPU email. And I also have listed the grading rubric, so you can, at the end of the course, tally up your points and figure out kind of where you fall. And then in addition to that, be sure that you pay close attention to the university policy and procedures. You can access this through the link provided there, because this also provides some additional information as well as some helpful tips on being successful in the class. And then something that you really need to pay attention to is the course calendar. This will outline very briefly and very generally the expectations for the week. I'll also have this information somewhat duplicated in Moodle, but if you're looking at your syllabus on a regular basis, you'll be able to see all of your weekly expectations and requirements, and as well as the due dates and due times for those assignments. So make sure that you're paying close attention to that and keeping that handy. And then just some additional information that I would suggest you kind of heed to is, I mentioned before, avoid procrastinating. Don't delay, don't wait till the weekend to get things started. Not only will that sacrifice the quality of work, but it will make it a lot more difficult for me to return any question, emails, or phone calls to you in a timely manner that's going to help you complete an assignment. So if you check and start working on assignments early, you may be able to contact me during the week. I can give you some feedback as soon as possible and hopefully get you prepared and clarify anything that may be confusing or vague to you before the submission date. Now the course opens on Monday, as I mentioned, so Monday mornings you will be able to log in, access the weekly information, and then work through that week. And then mostly on Sunday assignments are due, with the exception of the threaded discussions. Now all assignments must be posted to Moodle in the correct format, as I also mentioned before, Microsoft Word format. Anything that is posted differently, I am not able to open and read, and therefore I will not be able to provide you with a grade. And a key factor to adhere to is that APA formatting expectations are going to be required throughout everything that you do in this course. So whenever you write something, be sure you follow those APA guidelines. I do have some videos and some resources posted for you in Moodle for you to view, but make sure you have a cover page, make sure you're using 1-inch margins, make sure you're double spacing everything. So just follow all those basics, simple size 12 fonts, try not to get too fancy. Understand the format of headings, section titles, and things like that in your paper, as well as referencing information. So any information that is not considered your own needs to be referenced and cited, so you're not facing a plagiarism issue or an academic integrity issue. So be sure that you cite things correctly in text as well as on a reference page. And as I mentioned before, lastly, be sure you check your FPU email and the Moodle site on a regular basis. That should be it. Very general information for right now. If you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me a message. Contact me anyway, anyhow, and I'll be glad to answer anything that may be confusing to you and just kind of help you out throughout this course. All right? Take care for now, and we will see you online.